got multiple people down. We need a lot of ambulance.
One of the things that is, I think, critical to the wellness of all employees in the Santa Barbara Police Department is our At Ease program.
We've been able to help so many officers and first responders deal with the traumatic situation that we've seen up here lately in Santa Barbara. They're there, first ones on the scene to help and provide comfort and counseling to the families while they're waiting to get the answer.
You can't go to a disaster without having it affect you. You can't be in a trauma-based organization. You can't do trauma-based work without being traumatized. So instead of hoping it won't happen, we've come to understand that trauma will happen. And we need to know how to respond to that trauma so that our first responders can show up at every event the best they can be.
I first learned about it after my husband of 27 years died of suicide. In October of 2017. And without it, I honestly wouldn't be where I am today, and either would my boys. He was a firefighter for 30 years, and he was kind of the old school, where you didn't ask for help.
When first responders go out and serve the public, they deal with traumas that people can't even imagine, and they take those things home. And the At Ease program was set up to help these folks deal with those things that they experience.
I used the program for a year, weekly, after his death, and my boys used it for many months until they felt they were okay. Without it, I would have been lost.
It's set up to confidentially address the issues that a first responder might suffer when they go out to a major disaster, when they go out to a major accident, when they go to a death investigation or a homicide investigation, because first responders do respond to things that normal citizens will never have to deal with. And they do that because they care about this community.
Policing is one of those careers that layers years and years of trauma on people. And if it doesn't get checked in on, it can culminate in a way that is devastating to an individual and the organization.
I want to give a big thanks to the Santa Barbara Police Foundation and the At Ease program for assisting me through probably the most traumatic incident of my life. In November 2018, I was working patrol in the city of Oxnard, and we received a call that there was an active shooter at the Borderline Bar and Grill. And when we made entry to help secure the place, it was horrific.
Sergeant Hillis died at the... The sergeant passed away at the hospital about an hour ago.
Once we completed our search and finished up the investigation for that night, I knew I needed help. I reached out to the McGrew family and the foundation, and without hesitation, they offered up services through the At Ease program and provided counseling for me for several months to help work through the emotions that come along with working in an incident like that.
If they need help, if they just want to check in and talk to somebody, they just get a phone number and they go and get the help they need, and the foundation takes care of the funding for them.
It's a perfect formula. It's where the community can come together to help our first responders in a very meaningful way. This job is a job that has a high suicide rate. It's a job that has a high divorce rate. The fallout from serving others is very high. It doesn't just hit the first responder, it hits their families as well.
I've used the At Ease services a few times now, and I'm so unbelievably thankful for At Ease and for the Santa Barbara Police Foundation for getting this service going. The first time I used At Ease, it was shortly after the 1-9 debris flow in Montecito. We got, I remember, heavy rain at the station. It woke me up, and then I remember the tones going off. I'll never forget that. Those tones going off, and there's a tone associated with every piece of equipment that goes, and it was endless. We ended up getting to Olive Mill, and I grew up here. I didn't even know I was on Olive Mill.
The flash flood's right there! Get out of here, go! Oh my God, Mom!
By the time we set the brake in the engine and walked out, It was about 5 minutes later that we made our first rescue. And it was a 2-year-old little boy who was severely injured. And I just remember at the time thinking, you know, he looks just like my 2-year-old son. And it was kind of a out-of-body experience where I went from rescuer to dad. We pulled him out. It was muffled crying with mud and debris in his mouth. And we cleared his airway and got him into an ambulance. And then it was onward. We knew that if he was here, there was going to be more.
He wanted to be the best possible firefighter and husband and father that he could be. So he knew after going through the experience he'd been through that he needed to talk to a counselor.
And then the next one was the one that really got to me. We found the 10-year-old sibling of the 2-year-old deceased. And that one was really hard. When we find someone we can't help is where it's really hard for us. And I couldn't forget that. I was not able to forgive myself that I couldn't help this kid. And that's where Addie stepped in, and it was so easy. And if it was any harder, I probably wouldn't have done it, but I picked up a phone and I was in the office quick.
And I was so proud of him for doing that, because it takes one kind of bravery to walk into a building full of fire. It takes another very different kind of bravery to walk into the Addie's tent and say, hey, listen, I've been through something and help me.
The Addie's program keeps expanding and is generously supported by the community. It continues to grow and touch more and more people that need the help.
I'm just so thankful for it. And I know many people in my department have benefited from it. And I hope it continues forever.
The Addie's program is the first on the scene to give counseling, comfort, and help to those that need it. You can help.
Addie's and that counselor helped me not focus on what I couldn't do, but what I did do. I'll never forget that call, I'll never forget that boy, but I'm at peace with the job I did. It makes my life easier, it makes my family's life easier, it makes my job easier, knowing that Addie's and the Santa Barbara Police Foundation have my back.